I want to talk about the case of Candice Anderson. As you know, we've been following that very closely. Her crash 10 years ago, she was driving. Her boyfriend was killed in that accident. It is now known that that car had a defective ignition switch. Knowing more about her case, do you believe Candice Anderson should be pardoned?
Again, that is something for the courts to decide, not for General Motors. We have the Feinberg program to evaluate from a perspective, but I don't think it's appropriate for General Motors as a company to step in. That's for
why? Why is that? If the crash happened because of something that was wrong with her car that General Motors knew about, why not write a letter on her behalf, or at least voice an opinion one way or another?
Again, there I think are the right experts that have the full, complete details. Those are the people who should be making that decision.
You don't think GM should weigh in at all?
I do not.
Your own internal investigation, the Valukas report, uncovered that 7 years ago, General Motors looked into Candice Anderson's crash, called it, quote, unusual, and determined that there must have been power loss in the car. Why didn't GM ever reach out to her?
Again, as you look at the Valukas report documents that there were opportunities where in this specific situation a series of mistakes were made over a long period of time, and that's why we've taken some of the extraordinary steps.
Looking back, do you think someone at GM should have, when they saw this happen and there was an internal investigation, reached out to Candice Anderson, reached out to Rhonda Erickson, whose son died in the crash, and said, we think something may have been wrong with your car? Because she was charged with a felony, and it is still on her record.
Again, Poppy, as you look across this, we have, making the right changes that we need to make with the learnings that we've had from the Valukas report. We're working to make sure we're the industry leaders in safety as we move forward, and we've taken steps to do the right thing.
Does that mean you don't think someone should have reached out? I mean, looking back and learning, should something have been different?
Obviously, we've stated that through this whole process, things should have happened much more quickly, and we're putting processes in place to make sure as we move forward that happens.
She said to me that her life has been forever changed by this. She has a harder time getting a job. She's still got this felony on her record. The district attorney who prosecuted her wrote a letter on her behalf after learning all of the circumstances of the crash. And I guess I'm wondering, like Senator Blumenthal asked you, why does GM not think that it has any role in weighing in here?
Again, we'll provide information that's requested from a technical perspective, but we're not exposed to all of the information. I think
you don't have all the information of her crash?
Of the whole situation. I think there's people who have that, and they're in the best position to make that decision, and I respect the role of the judicial system to do that.